Okay, so today is going to be a general, ooh, collective message, which means it will not resonate with everybody. Please only take what does resonate with you and leave what does not. If it's your first time, welcome on in. If you're returning, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. You can refer to me as Harmony within this space, and this space is Codes of Harmony. So, big moon last night, like huge, mammoth, massive moon. I also got the name ghost, the word ghost moon come through, which I thought was kind of interesting. I hadn't heard that before. Um, and then when I went outside and looked up, there was this kind of haze of clouds over the moon, creating this, because it was so bright and so close, creating this like sense I couldn't see where the moon ended and the sky begun. So that could mean something for you. And the in the meditation this morning, the message that's coming through for me to share with you, the collective, is about Osiris, right? And I must mention, if you didn't catch the little 10-minute video I made last night, when I was already in ceremony, already in the space of the moon, that Hecate actually came and gave us some messages. Very honored. And so I feel like this is, in some ways, a continuation of that, but at the same time, working specifically with shadow work and with Osiris, who, of course, is this person, this fella, and is the lord of the underworld, is the way that he gets described. And I felt to have silver today, is the vibe. Okay, let's just open on up the space. Of course, the channeling also started with some songs, as it often does with me. And all channelers have their own ways of working. Whoever you are, I hope you're having a beautiful day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Let's get, what do we got? What are we working with? Let's do lemongrass. Okay, so I hope you had a beautiful, transformative moon last night. If you've been drawn to this video, you most probably have some kind of connection, ancient or blood-wise, to Egypt. You may be connected to or feel some kind of understanding of the story of Osiris and Isis. Osiris famously was betrayed by family members. You may have been betrayed by family members or have some kind of connection, some kind of understanding and empathy for Osiris, the story of Osiris. And if you don't know the story of Osiris and Isis, I won't go into the whole thing right now, but it could be beneficial for you to look into. Okay. I'm an energy worker as well and a quantum healer, so you may see, sense, or feel me moving energy as we do this work and move through this message together. And we're going to be working with this amazing Alana Fairchild, I'm pretty sure, oracle, which has messages from Isis. But the card that I drew when I was meditating on your energy today was this one. Proper burial for freedom. Sacrifice to Osiris. Maybe some of you have recently prayed to Osiris. Maybe some of you have recently made some kind of sacrifice within your life in order to connect in with the lessons, the learnings, the blessings of Osiris. Osiris and Isis also represent love, But the message that has come through today is around shadow boxing, specifically shadow boxing with Osiris. Interesting, because Osiris is the lord of the underworld, after having Hecate, the goddess of the underworld, come through last night. So whoever you are, you're doing a lot of shadow work. And we want to start by just acknowledging the shadow work that you're doing, and Osiris is acknowledging it. Okay? Osiris is making sure that you know that you are seen, that your work is seen, the efforts you put in are seen, all of the ways that you honor your ancestors, all the ways that you connect in and honor your shadow. It is so important that people start understanding and honoring the shadow self, the shadow space, and understand that this shadow self is part of the structure that allows your light to exist, that allows that which people can happily acknowledge within you to exist. None of that would exist if you did not have a shadow that was the counterbalance. Yeah? So you're doing shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. And a song that came through with this message was a Fiona Apple song called Shadow Boxing, funnily enough. Something like, I won't go through the whole thing, but so imagine this is like lyrics to your shadow self, okay? Once my lover, now my friend. What a cruel thing to pretend. What a cunning way to condescend. Once my lover, but now my friend. Oh, you creep up like the clouds, and you set my soul at ease. Then you let your love abound, and you bring me to my knees. So imagine this is about the shadow, right? Seeing this to your shadow. This is how it's come through in the message today. When you know I'd be insane to ever let that dirty game recapture me. Good shadow work, guys. I'm a shadow boxer, baby. I wanna be ready for what you do. Shout out to Fiona Apple. I've been swinging around because I don't know when you're gonna make your move. Moving into a higher consciousness. Oh, your gaze is dangerous, and you feel your space so sweet. So it's really like about finding love for the shadow, finding love for the shadow self, finding love for everything that you have been, every type of being that you have been, every shadow side that you have ignored. All of this must come together now for the inner war. Osiris is very proud of you. Your ancestors are proud of you. You should be proud of you. Oh, it's so evil, my love. The way you've no reference for my concern. So I'll will be sure to stay wary of you, love, to save the pain of once my flame and twice my burn. I'm Hecate, yeah. So I'm a shadow boxer, baby. I wanna be ready for what you do. And I've been swinging around and nothing, 'cause I don't know when you're gonna make your move. Hard not to bellow that one out, but I'm trying to keep it gentle for your beautiful soul. Okay, so we have proper burial for freedom, sacrifice to Osiris, the lord of the underworld, portal of light, that she glides on wings through time and space. This is a message from Isis, talking about the way that you have traveled through time, talking about the way that you have grown, the way that you have changed, the way that you have expanded, the way you have become more of yourself, as well as a new version of yourself via the shadow work you've been doing. Key of life, spinning the ankh, the key of life. This is really important. So other coding came in today about significant. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See his nose. See your nose. Yeah, so that is important. For some of you, if you haven't heard that song, it could be beneficial for you to find Fiona Apple Shadow Boxer. Yeah, and the chorus being, you made me a shadow boxer, baby. I want to be ready for what you do. And I've been swinging around me because I don't know when you're going to make your move. So it's been coming through today as like you seeing that to your shadow self, right? And that there are certain illusions of the shadow self that you have had of yourself. Hope that makes sense. That Isis and Osiris, almost with this mama dada energy, with this like caring, benevolent, loving, peaceful energy. Interesting, because I wouldn't necessarily associate Osiris or even Isis with peace all the time, but they're definitely like a respect and an understanding of everything that life holds, the brutality of the Nile that rises and falls, the fickle nature of life is what you need to embrace, is what Isis says. Please give me clear divine guidance. The flower of life. This is interesting because the flower of life is actually a sacred geometry that I've been working with, and many of you have been working with. If you don't know the flower of life, it will be beneficial for you to look into the flower of life, the geometric pattern. Divine creativity and manifestation. The other thing to understand is that your shadow work helps you manifest. So sometimes we can get into this kind of feeling and this sense that manifestations can only come from thinking of the highest things, can only come from focusing on the highest things, which is actually quite true in lots of ways. But we have to remember that it's like our focus is also driven by the shadow work that sits behind that focus, the awareness, the self-awareness, the higher consciousness awareness that your shadow is something that you can fall into. And shadow boxing is like, you know, if you think about the symbolism, the metaphor of shadow boxing, it's like attacking yourself, right? So a lot of you have been attacking your own shadow, is what I'm hearing. And it's really interesting. Isis and Osiris are really coming through like a mum and a dad energy at the moment. Like I can feel that just flooding through the space now. Interesting, flooding the Nile. The Nile will flood every year, you know. This incense smoke seems so much bigger today than normal. Okay, so Fiona Apple, Shadow Boxer, Osiris, Isis, Ancient Egypt. Okay. We then have Queen of Heaven. Blessing from the Divine Empress of the Skies. I feel like the Divine Empress of the Skies may actually have been Nut, if I'm not mistaken. Egyptian gods and goddesses have so many messages for you, basically. And working with the Ankh. Oh, they also wanted me to tell you about the importance of the Ankh, which is actually quite connected to the tree of life, the flower of life, the key to life. So many of you hold very important keys. Did you forget that you were holding those keys, is what Osiris is saying. The Ankh. Let me show you. Okay. Ankh. Ancient Egyptian hieroglyph signifying life or cross, surmounted by a loop and known in Latin as a crux, crux and sata. As a talisman, the Ankh is often held or offered by the gods of pharaohs. So they're showing that Osiris is, it's like you're trying to box, like shadow box with Osiris. So it's interesting because one part of the metaphor, one part of the message that's coming through is that you have been shadow boxing with your shadow self, right? I'm going to say shadow so many times in this reading, so be ready for that. You're shadow boxing with yourself, but then it's also coming through like you're shadow boxing directly with Osiris, like you're in a boxing ring with Osiris. And so this is bringing in the message that many of you have been refusing to stop the fight, refusing to stop shadow boxing and beating up yourself, beating up your own shadow self, having shame, negative associations, negative attachment ideas, projecting onto your shadow self. It's so fascinating because it's really coming through like a shadow self, like the shadow version of yourself. And then it's like Osiris has come through and been like, all right, being like, that's enough. Okay. Osiris is coming through being like, you kids, I can hear you from inside and you're arguing too loud. Things are getting too, you need to stop beating up your shadow self. And the way that you can stop beating up your shadow self is by accepting something that is being held out to you from Isis with the love and care of Osiris. So it's like Osiris has stepped in. This is so fascinating. Please give me clear divine guidance. It's like Osiris has stepped in place of your shadow self to try and stop you beating up on that shadow self. I'll just light a bit of sage. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay. So the Ankh, working with the Ankh is going to be really beneficial for you. Even looking at the shape of the Ankh may be helpful. But basically, like, Isis is holding out the Ankh and saying, here is the key of life. Take this key of life. With this key of life, you will be able to unlock love, care, compassion, understanding, even camaraderie with your own shadow self. Key of life. The Ankh, or the key of life, is an ancient Egyptian hieroglyph symbol used to represent the word for life, by extension as a symbol of life itself. So it's also reminding you about, life is fickle, life is dangerous in some ways. Some of you may actually have experience some level of anxiety, some level of depression, some level of even paranoia, I'm hearing. If that is you, I'm sorry that you experienced that. And I hope that this reading may help unlock some of that. And the way that Isis wants you to understand that you can accept death, accept the underworld, accept the fact that you one day will die. Now I'm hearing, oh, what are they called? That really dreamy band from the late 90s into 2000s. Oh my God, I love that band. Oh my gosh, it's so funny when you're channeling, it's like different parts of your brain just like, but it's like, do you realize, that everyone you know someday will die? So instead of saying all of your goodbyes, let them know you realize that life goes fast. It's hard to make the good things last. You realize the sun doesn't go down. It's just an illusion caused by the world spinning round. So death really is an illusion. Death is an illusion. So fearing your own death is fearing an illusion. Okay, let's just let that move. Let that energy just move. Yeah, so somebody connecting into this video has problems with, that's a weird way to say it, but has a problem with death. So I don't know if you've experienced a lot of death. I don't know if you're an anxious person. I don't know if you have been through painful lived experiences where your actual life was threatened. Okay, let's just break up some of that energy. Okay, let that move. Osiris wants you to stop beating up on yourself. It's a very clear message. No way. It is 2:22 exactly, like the time where I am now. It is 2:22. So that's an angel number for you. Yeah. The Ankh has a T shape topped by a droplet shaped loop. It was used in writing as, this is so not written by an Egyptian person. The Ankh was widespread decorative motif in ancient Egypt, also used decoratively by neighboring cultures. Because death is something we all share. So no matter who you are, no matter how much you think or feel that people are not sensitive to what you're experiencing, ultimately it's like, oh, this is such a, like, this message feels so large. Like this message feels like life or death for some of you. So whoever that is, like, please take care of yourself. Yeah, please, if you need help, if you ever feel like you're in serious danger, make sure that you ask somebody. And if you don't feel like you have anyone in your life that you can ask or trust, there are people, places, organizations that are set up to help. Yeah. Okay. And the Ankh. So it's really interesting. So I'm basically seeing Osiris stand in between you and your shadow self, and is protecting your shadow self. So like if you see people starting to have a fight, you know, and then it's like the best mate's going to come in and stand in front and be like, no, no, no. Or the mother will come in and go, stop it, you kids. Or, you know, it's like that's the energy of Osiris for you at the moment, stepping in between you and your shadow self, and it's protecting your shadow self like this. And you're like, let me at him. Let me get to that shadow self. And Osiris is like, no, no more. You don't get to beat up on yourself anymore like that. And then as Osiris is doing that, Isis is standing between you and Osiris. So like there's your shadow self, there's Osiris, there you are. And then Isis is standing, almost gliding powerfully in between and holding her hand out to you. And in her hand there is the Ankh, the key of life. For a lot of you, you also need to you need to work with the frequency, which is actually the same as the rose frequency. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know that we've been getting lots of codes around the rose frequency, which is 320 megahertz, and that's actually the same frequency, the same megahertz as the Om, the Om. As if you've ever done yoga or meditation, connecting. So she wants you to take this key of life. Thank you, Osiris. Thank you, Isis. Thank you to your ancestors known and unknown. Thank you to my ancestors known and unknown. Thank you for seeking harmony within and without. And as I always say, harmony includes loving the shadow. Soul retrieval. Yeah. This is a part of your soul retrieval. So there are things that are below. There are things in the underworld as well as the heavens that are information that is vital for you to have. Information that is going to help you grow, help you evolve, help you take on new and expansive parts of your spiritual journey, in order, as well as your ancient journey. Some of you will start remembering your reason for incarnating, and you will start getting senses of or remembering the reasons that you have, the things you've come back to do again. And in order for you to get the almost like the tools that you need, get what you need in order to move to the next level, you need to do some soul retrieval work. And that soul retrieval work is specifically connected in some way that I really cannot say at this time. I'm going to try and find out in a second, but some way connected to the tree of life. Yeah, I think some of you have depression. And maybe no one in your life has told you that. But I'm telling you and suggesting, and if that feels true to you, obviously only take what resonates and feels true to you in your soul. But some of you may not realize you actually have some form of depression. Please, this video is only for entertainment purposes, as we say here on YouTube. Please consult with your doctor and people you love and care about and trust who are safe in your life. But in order for you to do this soul retrieval work, in order for you to be given access to your sacreds, to your own tools, to the things that are going to help you move to the next level in your life, as well as your spiritual consciousness. What does the Ankh mean? Give us some more information, please, Isis, Osiris. Isis and Osiris. Please use clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. I'm a very intuitive tarot reader and seer. So please use your own discernment. Goddess of 10,000 names, Isis. Endless emanations of the priestess. So this image really brings about multi-dimensionality. So you're going to become so much more multidimensional. You're going to become, slow down please. You're going to become, this incense is like chasing me. Are you seeing this? Everywhere I'm putting it, it is moving. Please. Some of you need to sage, yeah? Now I'm hearing a beautiful chorus song. That's a mantra that keeps repeating, that goes, my roots. Now I am connected to the core of me. My roots reach deep. I am connected to the core of me. My roots reach deep. So a lot of you, the work, what's about to happen, if you accept, this is quite abstract, and there's obviously parts of this message that I'm not meant to speak about, which is sometimes the way with underworld work and shadow work. Shadow boxer, baby. So you've been doing shadow boxing. Osiris is saying you're not allowed to beat up on yourself anymore, specifically on your shadow self. Some of you have done things in the past that you're quite ashamed of. Some of you, that was to do with substances or when you were under the influence of something or someone. It's important for you, in order for you to be able to shift the shame and negative attachment associated with that thing that happened in the past. For some of you, it feels quite heavy. It feels quite uh, toxic people, toxic situation, toxic outcome is what I hear. So be careful of the people you surround yourself with. That's really important. That's a message from Mama Osiris. Sorry, Mama Isis. And Dada Osiris is saying, be careful what parts of yourself you protect yourself from. Really, like, it's cute, it's abstract, it's kind of, it's hard. I'm trying really hard to translate. But they're also kind of silently speaking to me, like Isis is just like, and Osiris is just like that's the vibe, that's the energy, which is also this sense of like, you need to do the work yourself. You need to do some of the work yourself. Really, really interesting. A lot of you are doing shielding of your inner child. That's interesting. Yeah, so a lot of you grew up in situations where your inner child was not looked after, where your inner child was not cared for and respected. As a child, you were not respected and treated in all the ways that you should have been. And Osiris is inviting you to remember that your soul agreed to that before you incarnated, because of the lessons and teachings that came with that experience. As a human and an empath, I want to say, I'm sorry you had to experience that. And I'm really proud of you for doing so and being here to tell the story. Some of you telling your story is important. The key of life again? Okay. How did that even happen? Somehow the key of life, the Ankh, got back into the Oracle deck. Did anyone catch that? That's fucking weird. Okay, please give me, okay. Tell us about the key of life. Isis. How can the collective, the viewer, what is the viewer meant to do with this key of life? They want some other oracles. They want the mermaids. Okay, what to do with this key of life? I am connected to the core of me. My roots reach deep, reach so deeply. I am connected to the core of me. My roots reach deeply. Some of you have very, very deep roots. Some of you have very, very big magic in your bloodline. Your grandmothers. Some of you had an uncle who was very talented with magic. And what is the core of you? The Ankh will connect you to the core of you by breathing in air and going, wow, I'm breathing, I'm alive. By tasting water and saying, wow, this is replenishing me, this is holding life in me. Wow, this is going into my bloodstream, the flow, the river, the ocean within. By appreciating the small things in life and being proud of the things that you have survived. Some of you have had, I just felt this like big impact um, on the left side of my face. Some of you have had some kind of injury or impact on the left side of your face, and then I'm feeling it kind of going down here and to the back. That could mean something for some of you. um, I'm being invited to remind you that if somebody goes out of their way to make you feel small, that's because they know how powerful you are. They know how big you really are. And when I say big, I'm talking about your soul, your spirit, your true form, your true power, your true multi-dimensional capabilities. If someone goes out of their way to make you feel small, it is because they know that you are truly divine, that you are truly chosen, and that you have a big, big impact. You have a big job to do here. A lot of you have very important jobs to do here on planet Earth. Okay, we're going to work with the mermaids. What is the collective to do with this key of life, with the Ankh? Reconnect to your core being by being grateful and thankful that you are alive. I just saw a truck. So some of you have been in some kind of connected to something to do with a truck. The results of things that you have done are not who you are. Please give me clear divine guidance, who most beneficial, vulnerable. The results, thank you. Just allow, like, you just need to let shame drop off. Yeah, you need to let, like, shame drop off you. Let's just remove some of that. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Thank you. Let that all go. It's all made you who you are, darling. It has all made you so much stronger, so much wiser, and you are here for a really important purpose. So no more shadow boxing, okay? Daddy Osiris says no more. You are no longer allowed in that boxing ring. Golden Mermaid, number 23. Many of you have gold keys. Golden keys connected to the Ankh. That's amazing. We then have microcosm sea monsters, and this mermaid seems to be with a terrarium that has this is so interesting. I did a drawing last night that had the kraken in it. Wow. Okay, the kraken, this deep, deep, dark sea creature, but it's actually just in a tiny terrarium. Do you see that? So it's that energy of like a storm in a teacup. And I also see gold in her eyes. I see gold in the eyes of the mermaid. So microcosm. So some things were actually such a smaller deal than you realized, is what I'm hearing. Please give me clear divine guidance, who most beneficial, everyone involved. Again, they want me to say that the results of your actions are not who you are. For many of you, your actions were brought about by outside forces and the way you responded to them. For many of you, You were put in places and situations not of your choosing. For many of you, there's a big energy of being a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. Keep on surviving. Oh. Okay. Destiny's Child could be could have been something. I'm seeing somebody like dancing in white pants now. So you may have loved that song when you were at a specific time in your life. Please give me clear divine guidance, or listening to it now could be beneficial. The tree, that's weird. The tree of life, the tree of life. The I don't know, she doesn't want me to say too much about it. Like, are we going to get to explain more, Isis? Mermaid with a golden dragon. So gold is important. Don't be shy to wear gold. An alien emerges. Some of you have very specific galactic heritage. Okay, thank you. Some of you will not get access to your galactic birthrights. Not full access, because you always have access. But in order for you to move into the space, to pick up your galactic knowledge, your galactic, it's like all this heat on the left side of my body. It's like boom, 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 and it feels really specifically along here. I don't know, some of you may have injured your shoulder recently, or have an old injury there. And some of you have been treated like an alien because you are so because the impact that you have in people's life is like a comet, is like a celestial event, is like the supermoon that we had last night in Taurus. Yeah, you're like a supermoon. Oh, you're like a supermoon. You are so much closer to people's earth, to people's reality, to their true self. So you have a way of seeing people's true selves. You can see people's true self. You're like, so they in turn, if they're the earth, their true self is the earth. And you know, as the moon, as the supermoon, this is really hard to explain and translate. Okay, I'm doing my best here at Codes of Harmony. As the supermoon is so much closer to the earth can see the moon so much better, but it also means that the earth is illuminated more because of the moonlight, the rays of moon light bouncing onto us is so much closer, really illuminating who they truly are. You have this ability and you do it without even realizing. This is something I can resonate with. You have this ability to okay, so the gold. Okay, a lot of you have gold light, gold auras, and gold keys. And this gold, this shimmering, shining gold, which is also very connected to Isis, who loves wearing gold. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. And this gold light triggers the demons and the shadows in others. Please give me clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Some people have done really awful things to you. These things were violent, whether they were physically violent or violent in another way, which is just an important thing for you to understand. It's not only physical violence that is violence. You're such a survivor, like you're so strong. Whoever you are, you're so strong. and you have a gold aura, so it could be good for you to look into what gold auras mean. And you need to reconnect with the core of you. And the core of you is incredibly powerful. The core of you is ancient and wise. And everything that you have survived is so that you can teach others how to survive that same thing. Everything you've been through in this incarnation and those before it has been a way of your shadow self growing in a healthy way. So this is the other thing that Osiris is saying you have no right to be beating up on your shadow self, because your shadow self is actually doing favors for you, is actually helping you, and it was actually your shadow self that got you through that horrible, violent situation all that time ago. For some of you, it's something that's been quite recent. I don't want to tap in too heavily to this violent energy. But it's making me think of, there's this like unspoken rule or law. That's really interesting. This unspoken, I feel like I'm like in the sky now. I feel like I'm actually floating. There's this unwritten law around nature documentary makers, people making nature documentaries. Let's talk in our human talk. Come on, clear divine guidance for most beneficial of everyone involved. And they cannot, there's this rule that if they see an animal suffering as they're documenting it, even if it's like a baby cub that's been left alone or got lost from the herd or the pack, and you know, the nature documenter, and now this is like Osiris and Isis talking together. They're saying the nature documenter is not allowed to intervene, even though they may have so much, they can see, you know, they can see the hunter, or they can see the, what's the opposite of being prey? I should know this. Wow. Okay. I'm so like high up in the sky right now. The wings of Isis. Upon the wings of Isis. Anyways, the point that they were trying to say is that they have been the ones holding back and watching this saga between you and your shadow self. And nature documenters are not allowed to intervene with nature, because the idea is that not only are they capturing a realistic documentation of nature, which is brutal and beautiful, which is brilliant and violent and bloody. It's both things, it's all things. And that's the thing about quote unquote animals, because we're animals too, right? We don't need to go into that, thank you. Don't worry about that, that's just words I'm using. Is that, you know, animals wake up every day and they know that it may be their last day, and they accept that, and they still run through the fields, they still give birth, they still create, they still are pro-social, they still hunt, they still wait for the seasons. Every single day they know that that's the twist of fate, that is nature, that is death and rebirth. Some of you seem to have quite big concerns about death. I personally have had a number of near-death experiences, including being dead for 2 minutes. That's interesting, because I think 222 came up before, so some of you may have also had near-death experiences. And since I died and came back, I remember making a conscious, I really didn't plan on talking about this today, but I made a conscious decision to receive the Ankh. I made a conscious decision to come back to life. Wow, I really didn't expect to talk about that. But Isis is holding out the key of life and saying, take this key of life. Okay? Let's get one or two more from the mermaids. Please make clear divine guidance. Be most beneficial for everyone involved. Stardust Angel. And look at that card. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, so now they're talking about, the stars can be a teaching and an example, is that a lot of the stars that we see in the sky have actually quote unquote died, don't exist anymore in the physical world, whatever that is. And we still see the light of that star. And you need to understand that your light shone before you were born and shall shine after you die. And this is the case for you and anybody in your life. Every being, like the nature documentary download or symbolism we've just moved through is like every creature, like they'll run they'll run from what is going to kill them. But when they, this is really fascinating the way this is all coming out. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Bayami. But there's not that panic. It's a different sort of panic. It's not the same panic that humans who are really in there are stuck in this literal thinking and who do not accept death as part of life and do not understand the shine of the Ankh, the shine of the golden key of life. That shine comes from having ashes rubbed on it. Now I'm seeing her rub dark charcoal all over the Ankh and then wipe it off, and the Ankh shines brighter. So stars, yeah. So the light of the star will always shine. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now they're saying that the lights that we can see from the stars that no longer are there, that light meets us and we take on that, the energy and the light of that star. And then when the starlight no longer is shining in the sky, that light is connected with us and is here in the earthly realm. Wow. Okay. I'm a bit speechless. Okay, let's close this off with just, like, let's try and clarify a little bit, yeah, with the tarot. Please give us clear divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Yeah, the Ten of Swords, 100%. And Osiris is saying, don't put in more swords next to the many that others have placed there. Instead, focus on removing those swords and being thankful for the teachings. Please give us clear divine guidance. Shadow boxing with Osiris. Oh, strength card. Leo energy, fire sign energy, strength, strength, strength. And again, I'm seeing that black ash being used to polish the Ankh, to make it shine, to make it glimmer, to make it, to connect the Ankh, which is the key of life, is forever connected to death. The death of the old self, the death of the self that allowed others to put these swords there, the death of this saga between you and your shadow self. Wow. 10 of Wands. So we got 3 cards out and 2 of them are already 10s. Okay. You're so close to reaching the next level. You are so close to having the gates open to the next level. But you must put down your weapons. Stop shadowboxing. Because there are real fights to be had, real battles to be won. Huge closing of a cycle, massive closing of a cycle. I don't know, there's so much death energy, but it's like, it doesn't feel like death. It's just hard to explain. I guess that is the Osiris frequency. Okay, let's close it off with... Ooh! Okay. Please give me clear divine guidance. I had like no sleep last night, if you can't tell. So maybe, yeah, I just heard that I slept like the dead. Yes, Osiris is making a joke. Please give us clear divine guidance. Ah! Whoa! Okay, beautiful. So we got the 6 of Swords moving away, moving to safer waters. We then have the Star card, Wish Fulfillment, Aquarius energy, Age of Aquarius. And then the 1111. 1111 is a very important number at the moment. It is collectively a synchronicity, as well as a synchronicity between soul tribe, between soul family, and those heralding in this change, right? We are all being protected, guided, and we are seeing the 1111 on the horizon. The celebration, the unity, the love, all the love, compassion, empathy, and union that we offer, just like Isis holding the Ankh out, the key of life to you. This is what we do in our lives. We hold out the key of life to unawakened beings, to those struggling, to those who have fallen off the path or taken the wrong one. Wrong. No such thing. Yeah, so you're about to get your wish fulfillment. And it's going to move you away from troubled waters, into safety, away from whatever is behind you that had you shadowboxing, yeah? That had you trying to hit something but you couldn't find the mark. Yeah, wish fulfillment. And soul family. Your soul family is also seeking you and looking for you, and they cannot find you while you're in the boxing ring with your shadow self, because your soul family wants to embrace you in your fullness, in the full spectrum of who you are. Woo. Please give me clear divine guidance. Yeah, so this is literally it. Okay, so this, yes, we all know this card, the 4 of Cups. And when we talk about the 4 of Cups, we talk about the universe offering you this cup. For you, that is Isis holding out the Ankh, the key of life, with the love, support, and watchful eye of Osiris. You then have the 9 of Cups. so much abundance. These are like happy cards, right? Considering the survivor death energy, this is like you have so much beautiful stuff. Like you get through, use your strength, right? Which we must thank. I was went to a accent right there. Um, thank your shadow self for your strength. And all that shadow boxing was teaching you skills. All of these swords will fall away from you. This struggle of the Ten of Wands will be no more. And you will move into this abundant timeline of much love, wish fulfillment, age of Aquarius, and the 1111. And if any of you did something, recorded something in your phone or took a photo on the 1111 portal, you're being encouraged to look back at what you put in your phone or wrote in your diary, some kind of documentation that took place on the 1111 portal, is also going to help you do this work. As you, no way! Stop it. Underneath the deck, as I was about to say, this is the end. We come to the end of this reading. We have nothing but the Ten of Cups. You're so close, baby. You just have to stop fighting with your shadow self. And you will find next time you go to try and battle yourself and beat up on your past self, your shadow side, you will quickly feel the energy of Osiris stepping in and saying no more. And then you will feel Isis gliding towards you, holding a golden ankh, saying, pick up the key of life. And all your dreams will come true, baby. Okay, lots of love. This was a wild one. A little bit, yeah. I mean, you never really know what to expect. But the cards don't lie, and please stop beating up your shadow self. Please stop being so hard on yourself. And understand that death is part of life. Life is part of death. All the little tiny deaths that you have had, all of the ways that you have had your life threatened, all the things you have survived, they are all the ash. They are all the ash that allows the key of life to shine. Okay. So much love from Codes of Harmony.